Hey there. What if I told you that your life isn't actually just a series of random events? You know, those unexpected wins, the sudden failures, or even those relationships that just feel impossibly hard. What if they aren't just accidents of fate? Today, we're going to explore the invisible, universal blueprints that are actually guiding our reality, whether we believe in them or not. So let's dive right in and discover the hidden architecture of our everyday lives.
But first, how often do you feel like you're just totally drifting on autopilot? You wake up, you instantly face this overflowing inbox, you rush through back-to-back meetings, and you navigate all these endless relationship bumps. It's like you're just reacting to daily chaos, and honestly, it's exhausting. Most people spend their entire lives stuck in this reactive mode without ever pausing to seek out genuine life balance. But to stop that cycle, we really have to understand the invisible principles that are shaping those exact circumstances.
And that brings us to something called spiritual governance. Now, these are invisible, universal principles, stuff that's actually rooted in ancient philosophical teachings, and they are influencing our choices every single moment of the day. Think about gravity, right? It affects you every day whether you're consciously thinking about it or not. Well, these laws operate in the exact same way. And understanding them is a total game changer because it shifts you from feeling like this helpless victim of circumstance to becoming an empowered, active participant in your own transformation.
Okay, Section 1. The hidden forces around us, connecting the invisible dots of daily life.
So, the very first blueprint is the law of divine oneness. This teaches that absolutely everything in existence is connected. I know, it's so easy to see ourselves as just these isolated individuals moving through a totally disconnected world, especially when you're buried in a cubicle or just staring at a screen all day. But think about this for a second. Imagine you bring a super stressed, anxious mood into the office. That energy directly affects how you speak to a colleague, which then alters their mood, which changes how they interact with a client. It creates this massive chain reaction. On the flip side, a single act of kindness creates a positive ripple that affects everyone else. Your thoughts affect your attitudes influence your actions, and your actions literally impact everyone around you. You're never ever acting in total isolation. And that energetic exchange actually brings us right to our second law, the law of vibration. This law, which you'll find echoed in ancient Eastern traditions all the time, states that everything in existence is in constant motion. Nothing is ever truly resting. But more importantly, your thoughts and your emotions actually carry their own energetic qualities. Compare a mindset of gratitude to one of, say, anger. You could literally place two people in the exact same cubicle, reporting to the exact same boss, but their internal experiences are going to be vastly different. Cultivating peace internally actually changes your vibration, and that influences your decisions, your confidence, and how you experience your reality, even if the corporate chaos going on around you hasn't changed one single bit.
Moving on to Section 2, Mirrors of the Mind, how your inner world shapes your reality. So, this brings us to the third law, the law of attraction. Now, you've probably heard the phrase, like attracts like. But it is absolutely crucial that we demystify this. This isn't about some magic wishing trick where you just close your eyes, picture a sports car, and poof, it suddenly appears in your driveway. No way. What it actually means is that your dominant mindset shapes your actions, your expectations, and your perceptions. Think about a manager who has this persistent pessimism, always convinced that senior leadership is out to get them. Because of that dominant mindset, they unconsciously avoid taking risks or pitching new ideas, and as a result, they miss out on a really clear promotion opportunity. They attracted that career stagnation simply because their inner fear blinded them to the opportunities sitting right in front of them.
Building right on top of that, we have the fourth law, the law of correspondence. You might actually recognize the ancient Hermetic wisdom here. As above, so below. Look at how inner chaos, like feeling super stressed out or having a total lack of mental boundaries, translates directly into outer disorder. We're talking a physically cluttered desk, missed deadlines, disorganized files everywhere. This law tells us that our external worlds always reflect our internal conditions. So if you want to transform that outer disorder in your modern office, you can't just go buy a new filing cabinet and call it a day. You have to start with inner self-reflection. The transformation we want to see out in the world literally has to begin within ourselves.
All right, Section 3, Actions, Relationships, and Rewards, the cycle of choices and returns.
Okay, this brilliantly illustrates the fifth law, the law of cause and effect. Every single action has a consequence. Think about a standard everyday conflict cycle in a relationship. Step 1, you have an unconscious, snappy reaction to something your partner says. Step 2, naturally, they get defensive. Step 3, you are right back in that repeated, totally exhausting argument. We so often want different outcomes in our relationships, but we keep repeating the exact same behaviors. But effects are always connected to causes. To break this cycle, we have to step up, take some responsibility, and actually change the cause ourselves. If we want healthier relationships, we quite simply have to become healthier people.
Which leads into our sixth law, the law of compensation. This is perfectly summarized by that ancient Stoic and agrarian wisdom, we reap what we sow. This law basically teaches that we eventually receive returns that correspond to the value we put out there. The energy, the service, the generosity, the value you bring to the world, it eventually finds its way back to you. It's such a beautiful concept because it shifts our whole perspective away from just trying to get things to focusing entirely on what we are giving.
Let's actually apply this directly to your career right now. Investing in your growth means doing things like developing valuable skills, really serving and helping your colleagues, and building strong networks. People who consistently do these things tend to create massive future opportunities for themselves. But, and here's the catch, it requires practicing patience for delayed harvests. The law of compensation doesn't mean your reward appears instantly the very second you help a coworker format a spreadsheet. Sometimes that harvest arrives much later, but the patterns always emerge. If you consistently invest in growth, you are absolutely going to eventually experience growth.
Section 4. Navigating the winds of change. Embracing life's constant evolution.
When life feels overwhelmingly chaotic, and we all know that feeling, we can lean on the law of perpetual transmutation as a specific, powerful tool for navigating change. The reality is, everything is constantly evolving. Nothing stays exactly the same forever. You might be in winter right now, facing a really severe setback or failure, but listen, winter always becomes spring, and that's where you find the lesson. Spring inevitably becomes summer, bringing new growth, and summer turns into fall, yielding deep wisdom. Your failures literally transmute into your wisdom. The difficult, painful circumstances you're facing today, they are never, ever permanent.
Finally, Section 5, finding your guiding law, stepping out of autopilot.
The greatest transformation of your life begins the very moment you stop asking that victim's question, why is this happening to me? And you start asking the empowered participant's question, what can this teach me? When you truly understand the laws that govern life, cause and effect, vibration, compensation, you finally gain the ability to work with them instead of constantly fighting against them. Shifting just a single question in your mind completely unlocks a deeply purposed life. It allows you to use every single challenge as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block.
Look, as we wrap this up, I just want to remind you of something really crucial. Like I'm talking to a close friend. Continuous transformation is always possible. The person you are today, the struggles you're facing right now, those habits you feel totally stuck in, that is not who you must remain tomorrow. Change is always available to you. New beginnings can, and absolutely do, emerge from difficult endings. You are connected to something much greater than yourself, and your conscious choices moving forward truly matter. So I'm going to leave you with one final, provocative thought to chew on. Which spiritual law is governing your life right now? Are you stuck in a negative loop of cause and effect? Are you attracting career stagnation because of your internal vibration? Or are you just patiently waiting for the law of compensation to deliver your harvest? Take some time today to just sit and reflect on your own habits, your dominant mindset, and your personal path to life balance. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep reflecting, keep growing, and I'll see you next time.